Hello, everybody. It is the Flippin' Bunch on a Wednesday evening. And tonight you are going to have just two of the Flippin' sisters. You have me, Dar, from at diys-by-dar, and we have Levon here from Statement Designs. So at any time you have any questions, let us know in the comments. And between the two of us, we'll try to catch them. If it takes a little bit, just be patient with us. And if it's something more, then just drop us an email to theflippingbunch@gmail.com. So we talked about this already once last week when we had Cheryl Wall on, but I really took a deep dive into Vid I.Q, and I really felt it was important to share with my friends here and subs that come visit this channel on what I found. It may save you a lot of trouble, and the jury is still out if this is something that I think is really going to be beneficial. But when we get to the end of this, we have some numbers, and then we have a little video of Levon's that we're going to play. And I think Levon might even have some really cool news about the Flippin' Bunch, maybe, right?
Yeah, I do. Hi. Well, we'll save that news for a little bit later. How about it, Dar?
Okay. Now you have to come back to
we'll
find
get into nitty-gritty stuff.
All right, I'm going to get right into it.
Yeah.
Vid I.Q, VID, capital I dot, capital Q dot. That's what you put in your search engine to look, and their landing page is going to look something like this. And, oh, I got to take this other banner off here and get that out of the way. Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop. There we go. A little less distracting. This is their landing page. This is what you're going to see. And sign up for free, which I did just to get my foot in the door to see what was in there, what I could play around with. And of course, when you sign up, you have to give them an email. And I just used the Google because they allow you to use google.com. So that's what I use, because all this stuff is kind of running through Google anyway. But you can create your own email and go through whatever you want and just have to sign in every time. So my sign in is up there showing right at the top, diys-by-dar. I click on that, and then you can see we've got the Flippin' Bunch down there because that's our secondary email with the group that we have. Now, right. I paid just on a trial basis because I can cancel it at any time. It's $199 a year for this optimization program for content creators in creating your videos. So once I go ahead and I click into here, it's going to take you to your home page, and that is going to look like this. And way over to the far left in that small column, going up and down, some of these are repeats within the program already. And then way over on the right, there's like a little square there, and it says tools. I'm going to go through some of these at the very end, but they are a little bit of a repeat of some of the things you can access already in the program. Or they take that program and they'll open it a little bit further for you so you can access other capabilities. Like especially the one that I'm thinking of is entitled Competition. Now, isn't that interesting? Yeah, that one was kind of fun. So when you get on the home page, you're going to see optimize your latest video. And the last video that you uploaded to YouTube is going to show up there. Now, right at the very end of that, you can see that button that says optimize. If you hit that optimize button, it's going to take you directly to start optimizing this single video. Above that, you're going to see in blue, it says view all. That means it's going to pull up all of your last videos that you want to look up in the order from recent to later. And then the little boxes with the blue headings underneath them, they're in here, like find trending keywords. What does that say? Get video here, find trending videos. That's kind of interesting. It'll take you and show you what is trending, like even 100 times more than a regular video that's playing on YouTube right now. And then generate a video. You can actually make videos on here. I'm not sure if they're set up to do that yet because they don't quite have all the changing of your thumbnails streamlined yet. So this is kind of the home page, and I'm going to go onward because this home page rolls downward. You can scroll down. This home page is quite large. So when you scroll down, what you're going to see next, it's trying.
While we're waiting, everybody's here. There's Mara, and there's Leora, and there's Gretchen.
Hey, ladies. Sorry, I am on this mission today, and I've got all this information in my brain. So I'm going to appreciate it if Levon can take over on them comments. When we're done with
Cheryl
this.
And Evie.
Hey, Evie.
I just feel like it's romper room. I see Cheryl and I see
you guys,
Evie.
You will feel confident to go on there and try a free trial and see if it does anything for you. But I have some numbers from 3 videos that I just loaded up in the last 3 days through Vid I.Q. So I'm going to share those numbers with you. All right, we're going to go further down on that home page. Where were we? All right, we were right here. And when you look further down, it brings up daily video ideas. And this is basically something based on your videos, or you can generate a video idea here. And then when you keep scrolling down, it's going to go to search a keyword. But I want you to look over there at the right where it says channel stats, because I am thinking this is very much YouTube. From your you can get all this from your YouTube area, from your dashboard. There's the word I'm looking for, dashboard. You know, it'll tell you the views, subscribers, watch time, your monetization, how many subscribers you have, how many hours you have in already. So there, you guys can see how badly I'm doing. All right, we're going to go to the next page, which is just further down on that home page. And there's the keyword opportunities. And these are just in general here over to the left, the area before you see those lit up like they're yellow and green. And what is that word at the top? Gnarly. So there's like 6,508,000. That's a very high keyword to use. Well, I couldn't find anything to use gnarly, but it can help more for your niche if you put keywords in there, but these are just in general out there. The one thing farthest over to the right where you see Monday, this is my group of subscribers. And this is another stat that you can get, I believe, in YouTube dashboard. It's going to tell you what's the best time on that day when your viewers are watching. And this one, it can even go like ahead of day. I could look on Friday and see what time I should like list that video on Friday. All right, we got one last.
Can I interject something and ask a question?
Yes.
So keywords, so keywords can be in a title, and keywords can be in the description, and keywords can also be the same as hashtags, but I mean, you can use keywords as hashtags, but I just want to caution you, if you put in your description box a bunch of hashtags, YouTube doesn't like that. So keep your hashtags for the hashtag section, because they just don't like that when it's like spamming or something. So just keep that in mind. I heard that before and just want to caution you against that.
Well,
Carry on.
when you see how the hashtags work on this, you're going to flip. I mean, you are going to literally flip. You're like, all right, come on, Dar, make us flip. We want to flip. All right, onward. Go.
I've never done a flip in my life, so if you make me flip now, that you really will be accomplishing something.
This is the last page on that home page, so it scrolls down quite a ways. And I think this is more just for your personal growth, daily tasks, today's growth plan. It does go in there and show you a little bit farthest to the right. You can see some competitors in there. Now, I didn't put anybody in there. These just defaulted in there on their own. This is one of those that I'm going to take you back to that toolbox on the top at the right when it says competitors, because that's where you put them in. And that's where you can actually graph out yourself and whatever competitors you want. You can do everybody. You can pick 2 or 3 out that you just want to show yourself against. I guess that's a good maybe an initiative if you're looking at certain people for growth, maybe. But we'll look at that again.
I would think so.
That is just the
like
home
YouTube,
page. Go ahead.
YouTube tells me, like, people who watch my channel also watch, so and so. So maybe those would be, if you see that on your channel, maybe that's good people that you should put in your competitors then.
Yeah.
And Gretchen says, flips for the flipping bunch.
I did a cartwheel once, but that was just so I could become a cheerleader. I don't know how I got my butt over the top of my head. I made the team, so that was the only time I ever did one.
Well, that's why.
Yeah, right now, I'm recording from my old bedroom when I was a kid. So if it sounds kind of echoey, there's not much in here. All right. Think all the way back. Maybe I'll just pop it up there real quick again so you can see. You see, all right, we've got my last video I did, and there's that optimize button right there in the white on the very end of my listing where it shows my teapot set, what I just did. It says optimize your latest video. See that one?
Yeah.
It says optimize latest video.
I see it.
All right. When I hit optimize, the next screen I'm going to get is going to look like this. And here is my video. And it has your title at the top. And then, well, let's just start right at the very, very top where it says optimize. Title, 87 points I got for my title. Thumbnail, 62. But I did change it and get this one up to 70 after I messed around with it a bit. And I did get the title up to 87 from where it was at. And then details. So there's 3 breakout areas in your optimize. Your title, your thumbnail, and your details. So when you hit on the title, it's going to bring up your current title, which I had changed mine already. and it took it to 87, and then it'll review it, and it gives you, under great, intriguing elements like check marks, but it gives you a written review too, and you can kind of read it
Mhm.
and maybe make some changes on what they're looking at. So
Do
you
they
can
do
finish the
anything for
title.
like grammar or anything? I hate to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I want
Do,
you to, because if you are, then that means somebody else is going to have that question. So that's fine. Just
do they
step.
do any like give you any feedback on grammar or anything?
Um, maybe like a little bit in the description. It
Because I'm just
does.
wondering, like, and this is me, and you can ask Dar, and it might be really annoying when you have somebody like me that does it, but and that does not mean I'm exempt from typos because I do my best editing after I hit send. But um like, so for instance, I'm going to pick on your title there. So upcycle ugly hat boxes. So I'm thinking of a book title, and I would think that the U should be capitalized in ugly, and the B should be capitalized in boxes, using decoupage. The only words that shouldn't be, in my estimation, is the word to and in. So I'm just wondering, and I'm not picking, but sounds like
Well,
I am, I'm sure. But
if
I'm just
that is,
wondering if you change those things, if it would change your score.
yes, because I did change this one. I had to go back and look because I've deep dived into this for the last 2 days. So my head is so full of this, I've forgotten where I've been. You know how that is. I actually changed the name of this. It went to upcycle ugly hat boxes using decoupage to create Alice in Wonderland. Let's upcycle. Couldn't get the rest of it. But anyway, the title was changed. Maybe when I get further in here, it'll show what it was. But that was
Yeah,
changed.
but I'm just saying, like, capitalizing certain things. Like, to me, a title of a book, like that, the letter, ugly would be capitalized and boxes would be, like I said, the only words that, if I were writing a title of a book, would be to and in, that would not be capitalized.
Okay, I got the full title now, and I'll tell you what they put in caps, what their AI put into caps for me. It went
Oh, okay. So you can do that and it'll change it. Okay.
upcycle ugly hat boxes using decoupage to create Alice in Wonderland keepsakes. That was what they wanted me to change it to get the 87.
Okay.
And what they
But did they
capitalized was
capitalize?
U at the start. They capitalized
Okay.
H at the hat boxes.
Ah,
They capitalized Alice. They capitalized Wonderland. And they capitalized keepsakes.
huh. So just as you have it there, I'm surprised. And, it's not the first time
So
I'm ever
that's kind
surprised,
of
but I am.
how that thing rolls there. Um, so what you can do is generate alternate titles. You see where it says that kind of in the middle? Generate alternate titles.
Yeah.
When you hit that, this box is going to light up and you can change to whatever their title is recommended there. Like 3 or 4 alternate titles are going to default in there for you. And I wish I would have got
Okay.
a picture of that. Like right underneath, generate alternate titles. When you hit that, you're going to get 4 of their generated titles with their scores on what it should
Huh.
be to get 98 or 97. And some of them don't seem really right, and I wouldn't pick them, but you can change your title in real time in this. You can make changes in this. You don't have to go back to YouTube to do it. You can do it all here and then upload it to YouTube from here so it can get changed to YouTube from here, but there's some little scary things in there, and we'll get to that. So basically, this is just your title. You can change it to what they wanted, change how you have it worded, and the new score is always going to recalculate for you, like real time, like right away. So you can see if what you did was good or bad by adding a word, taking a word out. Yeah, it was pretty interesting. So when we get done with this page here, I'm going to hit that thumbnail up at the top again by the optimize, because I've already changed my title. I've given it something better that it wanted. Now I'm ready to look at my thumbnail. So I'm going to click that thumbnail, and my thumbnail came up, and I believe this is the changed thumbnail, and I got it to, is it 82? No, 62. 62. This is not the changed thumbnail. So it showed my thumbnail at 62.
Okay.
You right now you cannot change too much. They're still working on this whole feature with your thumbnail. You can click like a blank box right next to this woman standing here, which is a real trip. Let me talk about her first. This picture for my title with the hat boxes, with this woman standing there with some hat boxes scattered on the table with the title using hat boxes, would give me 98% with that title. No, I'm not gonna, that thumbnail doesn't, I don't like that thumbnail. That thumbnail.
Well, you know what I'm thinking? I'd throw it in my PixArt and I would change the face to your face.
Well, you can do it
and
in here.
Also, I would make the font, you know, I would change that to black, because to me, I can't even read that.
Yeah, you can put your picture in here, and I could crop my head on that lady's body and do that. There's a thing in here when you click on edit the thumbnail, it will allow you to do that. Plus, if you've got some other thumbnails, like on this one, I did 11 thumbnails, to see which one really worked. So I had them in my downloads. So I just would switch. It would let me switch my thumbnail right in Vid I.Q. So I randomly went down to number 10. How did that score? Number 9. How did that score? And so on. And I just finally went to the one that gave me the best and tweaked that a little bit. And then that was the one that I took. But also a thing to keep in mind is the thumbnail and your title is going to reflect changes in your score. Like if I change my thumbnail, it may drop my score. If I because it's going to want to change in my title. So it's kind of dependent on each other. They interact with each other. And all I can say
Gretchen agrees with me that on the changes to the preferred thumbnail. And the reason why I would go with that one if it was me and pop your head on there, because they say that when someone views your page, that they're seeing a very cohesive, and I'm saying that especially for Heather, cohesive look on there. They should be able to look at that page and know that that's your video, So I try to make my thumbnails like always have my face in them. I've gotten to doing that. And I do use AI in my PixArt app and change them, where I could see with this program, you could use AI and, they have it. They basically did it for you. So yeah, I can see that being a good thing that I would use.
Yeah, I have an example of a really poor picture for a thumbnail, but because the 4 people on the face of it were smiling, it got a really high score for a thumbnail. So we'll have that one to look at here in a minute. All right, where did I leave
Mara
off
asked,
at?
"What is Pixar?" It's not Pixar; it's Pix Art. It's PICS capital ART, but it's all one word, and it's a lot like Canva. And it's an app that I use, and I do all my thumbnails in it, and I have done all the, logos and stuff like that for my business over the last 10 years. I've really been using it for 10 years. And anytime we have a sale or anything, like lots of times, like if I had to do a poster or something, I would get in there and do it because it'll translate to an 8x10 sheet or a poster size. There's just a lot you can do with it. And that's what I use a lot.
All right, I
Anyway.
have some other thumbnails. Let me see, because I'm okay. This is the thumbnail for this tonight. Okay, and you can see when and you can run lives through this optimization service. You can run shorts through this optimization service. But you have to get the video up. Doesn't have to be live. It can be scheduled for Vid I.Q to find it and recognize it. So this is the one I used for tonight, and you can see I would have gotten 45 on this one. I don't know where I ended up. I think I came pretty close to 45. I got it up a little bit somehow. And then when you look at the guy next, to get a 98, I guess I could have taken and put my head on that body and tried something else, and I could have gotten 98 out of it. But for lives, that function didn't work where I could really switch my thumbnails yet. And on the shorts, you couldn't switch anything yet. I think, they're still trying to roll it out, and they're still working on it. Let's see, what's this last thumbnail? What did we end up with? Here was the other thumbnail for this live tonight that they wanted. Free Forever was 94.
Oh. See, that really doesn't even, to me, make sense to what our topic is.
See there, so I got
Does
it
it
to
to you?
60. I got it to 63 when you looked at our next one. I think that, or no, 70 was the final one. You could see it at the very start of the stream of those clips before that guy with the best niche, that little 70 down there. That was as high as I could get that thumbnail for our live tonight.
It looks like Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, I would have had to put my head on there. All right. We're done looking at thumbnails for now, and we're going to go back to our home page. I'm not really, but remember it had those 3 things I told you could click on, was title, thumbnail, and then description. So when you click on description, this is what you're going to get. It's going to look like this. Your description is going to come up, and there's 2 buttons on the top there. You see where it says refine or regenerate.
Mm-hmm.
When you hit refine, nothing, well, I can't say nothing, but they're going to keep pretty much your same wording. But when you hit refine, what it's going to do is it's going to allow you make it shorter, make it longer, add excitement, change your tone, translate, so another language, custom instruction. I don't know, make us sound like children, or I don't know.
Well, I think like maybe that one would be the one you would pick because I was reading that description and it said that you'd have to show us again, but it said that you, once you finished with the paper, like it didn't understand what decoupage was, obviously, because it said something like you removed paper or something like that. That didn't make sense. So I would say that would be under refining. You'd have to actually change that text because it really doesn't define decoupage at all. And Mara said free forever was not a good thumbnail because she would be lost. And I agree.
So when you hit regenerate on your description, they're going to rewrite it all for you. And I had two
Give you a whole
choices.
new one.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they take your words, but I mean, it wasn't bad. I took the second option to help. It doesn't really give you any numbers on description, but it's almost like since you have your thumbnail set, your title set at the highest level, it reads your description, and I think it adds in those things to pull that title and description together in your thumbnail to kind of pull it all together, because it was better than the one I wrote. So I took it. So I clicked on it. Then you have to hit that bottom button that says apply.
Can I go rogue a second and take a poll?
Yes.
I would like to know, out of everybody that's here right now, and Dar, you and me included, who all reads descriptions on YouTube videos? I'll start, and I will say that I never read them unless someone says during their video, I used this thing, and the link for the product is in the description box, and then I go look if it's something I'm interested in. But other than that, I don't read them. How about everybody else? I'm curious. Dar, what about you?
Nope. Not unless
Okay,
I'm
so
looking
you
for
don't.
something.
Okay.
Yeah, so no, really, then how much does it really have to do
Ladies?
with anything?
Yeah,
I
I don't know. Cheryl, you never read them. Mara, what about you? Evie, Gretchen, read them when reference is in or if the vid is confusing. Okay.
Well,
Yeah,
this next part of this is going to be really an eye opener for you. Lower on this description page, or even after, I'm not sure if it's lower or you get it after you hit apply, but you get to go to your hashtags. Here's what that looks like.
okay.
So here is their hashtags based on everything so far and what I put in on YouTube.
Huh.
And I was floored because this is for the hat boxes. Gifts was like a number 2. Handmade was 2. Create was 13. Hat box upgrade was 4. Wonderland was 2. Arthritis Warrior and Sjogren's Warrior, because those are like some default ones I have, those rated higher than hat boxes. I was kind of floored at that.
Well,
but anyway, you can see where your hashtags are. When I thought were really great hashtags, were not. But down below it, it says recommended. You can take out ones you don't want, and you can use theirs and get all the numbers up. So that's what I did. I went and changed all of my hashtags to ones that were, and there's a color code here. Green, good to go. You know you're on the higher end, and I'm not sure where that starts. Yellow, mediocre, you're in the middle. Red, you're bottomed out. So that's kind of like a color gauge for you. I tried to keep all the hashtags like in the green and the yellow range and got rid of all the red ones. And at this location, it will let you look up hashtags as well. Like if you start putting in something like whimsical, it'll start adding different things like whimsical upgrade, whimsical hat box, whimsical decor, whimsical storage. It'll start throwing in a lot more hashtags that maybe you didn't think of. I would have never thought of some of them that were really high. No way. When you get done with all of this now, this is where the scary part comes in. You've changed your title, you've changed your thumbnail, you've read your description, you maybe changed that with maybe what sounded better. The hashtags are all changed. You hit apply. There's an apply button up at the top and or down at that bottom of the description. And when you hit that, this is what comes up. Authorize with YouTube. Vid I.Q wants to link up with YouTube and they want to keep your account secure. So please authorize your DIY-by-dar channel to continue. So when you hit authorize to YouTube, let me get the right one. It's going to take you here. It's going to want you to choose an account. And that's why I just went with the Google, because that's what I've got linked in for my YouTube. And I just hit my diys-by-dar, my Gmail, and then it'll take you to this one, which is the scary one. Vid I.Q wants to access your Google account. How scary is that? It already has some access to 2 services, but make sure you trust them. And then it talks about their privacy policy, and if you want to make changes, yeah, you could get them out of there, but then you're not going to be able to use the service. And I'm sure that all services are the same. So you have to hit continue in order for your information you just changed on your listing to go to YouTube. But it goes. You hit it and it goes. So that's all I can say about that, other than the few things that I learned. Okay. Here is just random view all I hit to last videos. There's us, the flippin' bunch. And our title did actually pretty good there. What is it, like a 68? And usually just for 4 random people showing their face up on the front of the screen, because I have other ones where I have not changed the thumbnail in it. And we didn't get that kind of score. So I think it goes back to what Levon said, is there's 4 smiling faces looking at the screen for a thumbnail. It gave us a 68. But you can take this and you can go back and you can look at all your old videos on how they did. You can click on them. If you want to go back and change the past and see if you could do any better with that past, it's there for you to tackle it. Or maybe you, like Levon's got a circumstance where she needs to change some information. And then I didn't know if the system would take a short or not. So I uploaded a short, and behold, it takes shorts. And the only thing, when you go to optimize one of your shorts, it takes you almost to like a regular YouTube screen where you can get in, and instead of putting only 5 hashtags in, it gives you 500 letter capacity. So in your short, you can put up to 500 letters for hashtags. If you do it on your phone, you only get that, short little amount of hashtag you can put in for your short you put in on your phone to YouTube. This gives you more hashtag, but I don't know if that makes any difference or not. It's just a thought.
Yeah, but are they going to edit it though? I mean, I can't imagine YouTube's going to let any more go through than normal.
They
So,
did
I
all
mean,
my
maybe they're
edits.
just giving you a wide range so they can call from
They
that. I don't know.
they did my edits and pulled them through, and I went and checked on YouTube. They were there.
Wow.
That's why you have to go through that double security with signing in again, and that double sign in. Like, yeah, here you're going to go to YouTube. Is it okay to let vidIQ into your Google on YouTube? And you have to click or and continue, or it won't post it for you. You don't have to. I would imagine if you took all the information from here and then moved it, you know. All right, let's get your video up, because that's all I really have. Other than one of the really interesting thing is when you look at my shorts, okay, you see the short I have up there that has the flower and I'm holding it in my hand.
Yeah.
1,000, like almost 1,200 views. The one right next to it with the little
Mm-hmm.
birdies, I put up an hour later,
Mm-hmm.
150 views. So somewhere, and I
Mm-hmm.
didn't put these through vidIQ. Um, the only difference, I mean, I did afterwards to see where I made mistakes. How could one get 1,200 views and one only get 200 views? What did I do? Can vidIQ help me figure this out? And the only thing I
I
could find,
think
the title. My
I
title was
I don't think that's it. I think it's the algorithm. I just feel like, so I'm going to share an experience. I know I have shared it with you, so you already know this, but to share it with everybody else. So last week I was complaining. I'll use the nice word, because I had put up a short and it went from 675 views, because I always look on my YT Studio on my app. It went from 675, and I kept sending them screenshots of the views dropping and dropping. We've discussed this before. It's like, okay, subscribers, you can lose subscribers. That makes sense. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but hey, I unsubscribed. It's possible. But you know the famous expression, I can't unsee it. How can you unsee a video if it's a view? How can it be taken away? So it went from 675 incrementally down to 540, and I just checked it, and it's down to 528. So I did a little research, and it's telling me that there's bots. So I guess when a video gets too many likes too soon, they think it's some sort of scam, some sort of bots, and they take them away. So interestingly enough, I then posted a video last night that was at 1.7, 1,700 views, and then it went right down to 1,600 views. But interestingly enough, they gave me those 100 views back. So go figure. I don't know. But my guess on your situation there is that, because you said you posted that just a little bit later, like
about
same
an
day,
hour apart.
an hour later. I don't know. I think that YouTube just won't push out that many videos. Like, I know we were talking about Facebook algorithms, and we were watching, all these videos. When Cheryl was on, we were discussing all that. And that Lester was saying, no, that's not necessarily the case um, with Facebook, that go ahead and post as much as you want. But I have a feeling with YouTube, it's just like they won't push it out if you post too frequently. I don't know.
It could
And
be.
Gretchen said, so YouTube removes what it considers bots, huh? I'm skeptical. Me too. It's a mystery.
Well,
Yeah.
I guess I
So I
really
just
don't
wanted to share that though.
understand what a bot is, but
what a bot is. Yeah, I know. Gretchen also says, could the Hobby Lobby and the flower thumbnail description have made a difference? Maybe. I would think
I
that would
thought about
raise
that.
views, if anything.
I thought about that
Yeah.
in the just in the title. Yeah. That was the other difference. Hey, let's watch your video, Levon.
Okay, before we do, one thing. A bot, in simple terms, I just Googled, is a software application designed to automate tasks on the internet, often performing repetitive actions much faster than a human could. These tasks can range from interacting with websites and providing customer service to scanning websites for content or even performing malicious activities.
Oh,
So, I don't know, who you can contact at YouTube and say, "Hey, give me back my
well,
views." Okay.
yeah, but it sounds like maybe they looked at those 100 and decided that these were legit, these are not bots, and like, put them back in there. But that's a scary thought. If you've got somebody that doesn't care for you or something, and they know how to do that kind of stuff, they could put you in their system and like keep, liking and liking and liking and watching your video, and then they find out it's coming from the same IP or the same person or the bot address. I don't know. And then that's what causes the problem with it. Somebody could do that, yeah, I suppose
Yeah, it's hard to
maliciously.
say.
What, that's just
I don't
nuts. All
know.
right.
Stuff beyond my.
Now we have a video that Levon did, and I'm not really for sure if I'm going to keep this vidIQ or not, but Levon does a lot of her things right through the dashboard on YouTube. And I think she went over some of the things, and this is all YouTube related information, correct?
We've recently been talking a lot
Correct.
about
I use
vidIQ.
YT
I didn't think
Studio,
I had it, but apparently I did
and that
because
is,
they notified me that I had
YouTube.
750 uploads. So I started looking at everything. I knew I had done a series called You Learn Something New. We were talking about our niches, and I'm looking down at these, and I'll tell you what, there's some that have less than 20 views. Now, it's teaching me a lot because I need to go back and the videos that did do well, do them differently and rebrand them, which would be pretty easy to do. But look at these videos. None of them were in my niche. They were just things that I did to kill time during the quarantine. Because you'll also see that I have a quarantine collaboration. So these were just 1 minute, 1 or 2 minute videos that I did just for filler. And, thinking back then that more is more, and I now know that a little bit less is more. So I'm definitely going to be cleaning some house and going through all these videos. So if you see anything interesting, watch it now. So this was the quarantine collaboration. So we were all stuck at home with our stores closed, and I teamed up mainly with a guy that has his name's Superman Barrow, and he has Before Club Therapy, and we did a series of recipes and fitness stretches and that kind of thing. And then I also worked with some other business owners. But mainly, I was on Weight Watchers then, and I was trying to, not get fat during quarantine. So here's one that did really well. And this was a quarantine collaboration of a house tour. Now, I am using screen record, so I started out one way and then I switched. So you'll notice that my video says La Vintage Decor, and that was my former name of my business. So I need to go in and rebrand a video like this that, uh, you know, isn't serving me anymore. So you notice you can't hear the video, but I was talking. But boy, if you had your video down, or your volume down, wouldn't that be boring just to be looking at me, a picture of me? So I need to change that. So I'm kind of fast forwarding. I just wanted to show you this kitchen that I did. The client really liked shabby chic. So it's just something I wanted to show you. I thought it was cool with the pink countertops. She liked the what Laura Ashley print. She had some sheets, and we stretched those out with a rug and curtains. And then I used Iron Orchid Designs stamps, which we still sell that stamp for the cabinets. And then I did this pie safe. She loves like pastels and barely there colors. So it was really a lot of fun to do this. I painted stripes on the cornice, and there's some more of those curtains, and the dinette. You can't really tell in the video, but they're painted different pale colors. So it was just a fun project. But that made me think. I did a search for home tour or house tour I did first. So that brought up a lot of results, as you can see. And as we're looking down through these videos, they have thousands and even millions of views. So I would say the term house tour is a good term to use. And so if I wanted to do a video like that, it would still sort of be in my niche. Home tours, I changed the word to home tour. Same thing, a lot of results. So I also thought about the term shabby chic and wondering, is it still a pertinent term? So I did a search next for shabby chic. So as you can see, a lot of these house tours, home tour videos get a lot of views. So I did shabby chic, and then I think, I don't know what we're waiting for there. Oh, I selected shabby chic home tour. So it was taking my thing a minute to catch up. Again, thousands of views. But if you'll notice, these were all a few years ago when these videos came out, which is not to say that they're not still getting views, but just that that term might be a little outdated now. So I know some updated terminology for the same kind of thing is cottage, cottage core. So I did that search as well. And as you can see, it brought up a lot. Cottage core, I learned, is one word. So again, we're sticking with the home tour. And shorts, as you notice through these searches, shorts are becoming more prevalent. And it's just cool how you can see how different search words bring up different things. How not to dress old. The next thing I searched for was another term for, I think, the same thing, is the granny chic. I started out by searching for grandma chic, but then granny chic came up. So I did the search for that. And so that is, again, a lot more shorts come up because it's a more recent term. But again, these are getting thousands of views as well. So that just tells me that I want to revamp my channel a little bit, update things to the newer name of the business.
Well,
That was a brief ending there. And I just want to add something to that. So we were talking today, and if I would have thought of it, I would have saved this video. But I sent you guys a video in our chat today. Since we've been talking about all this, it comes up in all of my feeds, including TikTok. And this one girl was talking about niches in TikTok, and she was saying, as opposed to thinking about your niche, think about your bucket. So, and I like this because for my business, I do in-home design. So it isn't just painting furniture for me. I do, home decor, and also like doing thrift flips because I have the shop where I do smalls. So, there's a lot of things that aren't just my niche, which is, furniture flipping, that would be more in my bucket. So, um, so I'm going to use that terminology, and I don't care what YouTube says. I'm going to give that a whirl. But Dar, do you think this is a good time that we should tell them a little bit more about what we're thinking about as far as the future of Flippin' Bunch?
That's up to you.
Well, maybe we should wait for the rest of our friends.
Yeah,
But
probably.
Cheryl,
Probably.
yeah. Well, we'll give you a little hint. Cheryl said she was wondering if it might not serve our channel, like if it isn't bringing our individual channels down by doing the Flippin' Bunch. So we'll
Oh,
leave you with that
yeah.
thought. We're taking some action on that.
Oh, yeah.
So Gretchen says it's probably a good idea to go through old videos and update them to more current terms, etc., to get more views. Also, new videos to add links to old videos. Yeah, all of that I think is excellent. Yeah. Yeah, so it's time to clean house. It's spring cleaning. So yeah.
So if
And
go ahead, Laban. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
oh, I was just gonna say I don't know whether I can present it or not, but if you have the text screen, we just always like to remind you that if you want to be reminded of
Yeah, I was just gonna put it up.
videos or of our Flippin' Bunch videos, just text live to 814-515-4905. And also, if you want to use email instead, email live in the subject line to flippinbunch@gmail.com. And we will send you a reminder and the link to the video.
Our minds were like going the same direction. I was like, yeah, that's what we need to be doing here. We're at 57 minutes. I am sorry. I hope I didn't totally lose everybody. I hope with my lupus mind, and sometimes my words get kind of jumbled up in there. So
no, you presented everything really well. I just feel like and I'm being honest because everybody's different, and honestly, I think that's really cool. Vid I.Q has some really cool features, but I don't know whether it's because I'm old and I'm like, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, as they say, or just, set in my ways. Like I just like to do some things my way. I'm very open to new ideas, but I'm just kind of like, I just kind of like how I do it. I know I can do a whole lot better. So I'm like, I think it's very interesting, that scoring. I know you and Cheryl are, I know you're doing it as a trial, and Cheryl has been doing it regularly, and obviously it's serving her channel well. Cheryl's a lifestyle of a DIYer, and she's doing really well with her channel. So
that's why I thought I'd
I'm not saying anything against.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to take a look at that Vid I.Q.
But I think there's a lot of concepts we can take from it. But I also think that they, have some probably it's a lot of chat GPT and a lot of, that kind of stuff. So I think you have to kind of go through that information with a fine tooth comb before you put it out there as yours, So Gretchen said she wasn't lost at all. It was very interesting. And Cheryl said she loves our Flippin' Bunch lives, and it was good info.
Cheryl, Cheryl, did I miss anything? Is there anything that was really cool that I didn't hit on? Oh, you know what I didn't really hit on was that competitors button. You have to go over on that tool bar, and then when you hit it, you can add people. You got to look them up from YouTube and put them in there, and you can actually make a graph. So I think I did tell you guys all that.
I thought it was funny when you said that, the competitors thing, because I always get this message on my channel that says, that viewers that watch my channel also watch Jamie Ray Vintage. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, let me put her up as a competitor. They're so far beyond my, channel. That would be lofty goals, for sure. But
I'm not that
Mara says ditto,
competitive.
Gretchen.
I'm not that competitive, and I don't
Mm.
see any use for it other than to let me know how bad I'm doing.
I'm not competitive when it comes to YouTube. As a matter of fact, I think ever since I've been doing videos and collaborating, I just think that collaborating is like the best thing, and I feel like the more you shine the light on someone else, the more it reflects back on you. So, I just feel like that's how I feel about YouTube. But when I was in sales, trust me, I was competitive. Like when I worked for AT&T, I had to be the best.
Well, you guys have any questions out there? Ladies, gents, anybody have any questions? We've made it an hour here, ready to wrap it up. What would you like? I promise I won't talk about Vid I.Q anymore. Can I make that promise? Any
I
questions
have to
from
get in touch
anybody?
with Kristana. I was going to say I have to get in touch with Kristana because she's going to be an upcoming guest. So that'll be an exciting one.
Oh, yeah. If you're still
Yeah.
out there, Mara, how would you like to come on? Yeah.
Yeah, we'd love to have you. Oh, and Gretchen wants to know how Kat is doing, and she got through her second surgery well, and she just we were chatting with her today, so she did good, but it's just a lot for her, and then the medicine kind of gets to her, so she'll be probably sleeping a little bit more. But she was up and talking to us, and she seems like right away, right after she was more active, and then it's like she kind of rests a little bit. But she had to go find readers today to talk to us. So then we all started doing voice, so she didn't have to read.
Well,
Yeah, we miss her, and then Crystal's with kiddos and sports events. So
and I came to my parents' house because I knew I was going to have to talk a lot. And if I ghosted y'all, that would really not be cool.
then it would just be me.
They've got landline, so I get a better connection here. And if we've got a big storm coming over the whole state, it'll be here tomorrow around this time, and the whole state of Michigan's going to get it. So
I hope it's not snow.
Yeah, the weather really makes a difference when we do this.
Yeah.
So I may have to ditch out to my parents' house just to stream until we get a landline in. I mean, we're on a highway, but whatever. Okay. Are we all good? Everybody good? Ready to sign out?
I think so.
All right, you guys.
We appreciate you guys. We love you.
Thanks for coming. Think of something for us to
Yeah.
talk about. Let us know, email us, and until next time, we will see you again.
Bye, guys.